I'm going to start over because I don't know what happened. There was like this weird little glitch. Um, Last week, I came live to talk about partners who sabotage our weight loss or our habits, healthy habits that we're trying to create for ourselves. If you missed that, it's still on my timeline. You can go just scroll down a little bit and find it. But today I wanted to talk about how to eat healthy when you don't have time to cook. This last week's video, this week's video, and I've got a few more planned for the upcoming weeks, are all in response to a question that I asked my community. I'll read it to you. The question was, if you're a serial dieter, what do you believe is your number one challenge that keeps you in the endless cycle of diet, fail, repeat? I am getting ready to launch a new program. We just finished the last week of beta testing for it, called How to End the Cycle of Diet, Fail, Repeat. And I cannot wait to share it with you. It will be coming soon. It's a really, I'm just so proud of this program and the transformations that the women have seen who have participated. Mindset, habits, self-love, self-care, like all of the things. All of the things. It's amazing. So I will share more information about that with you soon. If you're interested specifically, want to make sure that you don't miss a Facebook post, or if you're not on my mailing list, send me a private message, direct message, whatever you want to call it, here on Facebook, and I will make sure to send you the information when it's available. All right, so on to the question, or the topic, because several responses that I got to that question, if you're a serial dieter, what keeps you stuck in the cycle of diet, fail, repeat? One of the, I had several people who mentioned something about time to prep healthy food, what to eat on the go, that it's not convenient to eat healthy, that it takes too much time and effort to meal prep, that they hate shopping and planning, that they need to do a lot of cooking in order to eat healthy. And I am here to break these myths, to tell you that it does not have to be difficult or complicated. Okay. If anyone's watching right now, give me a little thumbs up if this is a challenge for you. I'm curious to know if this is a challenge. I know that for me, my whole story is that I used to believe in perfection, right? That I thought that I had to do things perfectly in order to lose weight, in order to be happy, to be healthy, to do all of these things, right? I thought perfection was necessary. And in 2012, a little light bulb went off that, like, oh, I don't have to be perfect. I can do, I can be happy and healthy and lose weight and live a happy, healthy lifestyle without being perfect. That's amazing. And it was, I know this is going to be a big, huge surprise, but it was life-changing. Totally life-changing. And now I live my life way different with that mindset, the mindset and habits that I have created over the last 10 years. And one of the biggest things for me was eating healthy, okay? Because again, I thought that I had to be perfect. I thought that I had to eat all organic, all grass-fed, all homemade. Like I had read Michael Pollan's food rules, and one of his things was you can eat it as long as you can, it's 5 ingredients or less. You can read all of the ingredients, or you make it yourself. And what that ended up being for me was like just making a lot of bread and a lot of cookies and a lot, because right, as I was following his rules. But I also got stuck in that, like, well, it has to be organic and it has to be this and it has to be that. And I was creating these unrealistic expectations for myself, which set myself up for perceived failure. And then I would throw in the towel and say, forget it, I can't do this, it's too hard. I'm, never going to be healthy. I'm never going to lose weight. I'm never going to, never, right? And they were all, again, these like expectations that I put on myself that were unrealistic, and ultimately set me up for what I like to call perceived failure, right? Because it wasn't real failure. It was according to my standards, right? Because I truly believe that when we expect perfection, we create failure, and I was doing that for myself. So when it wasn't an overnight thing, right? It didn't just like change my whole mindset and habits and everything overnight. It was a process, and it took me several years to sort of fine tune it. And even now, it's constantly changing. One of my big things is that in order to be truly happy and healthy, in order to lose weight, in order to keep it off, you have to be willing to evolve. If you've ever heard about my membership program, that's what it's called. It's called Evolve, because we have to be willing to adapt to what life throws at us. Whether it's, having kids, which was a huge adjustment for me, starting a new job, moving to a new place, having your gym that you've gone to for, however many years shut down. That happened to me. Maybe a new diagnosis or anything. Like, all kinds of things change. They just, it's life, right? And we have to be willing and able to adapt. So as over the last 10 years, again, like, I have adapted to what life has thrown at me. My habits, routines, my like ultimate, right? If we talk about ultimate healthy habits, before I had kids, were to do CrossFit 5 to 6 days a week, and I did food prep every week, and I had like a very like routine. I had a pretty strong routine in place, but I only had myself to answer to, and my husband, who we're pretty independent. So when I had kids, it was like, oh wait, hold on, this is a whole new set of challenges, right? But I had that mindset and those habits in place, which I was able to take with me as I learned to adapt, to evolve to a life with kids. And so a lot of those food prep type habits that I had created, I was able to adapt to this new lifestyle with children. So, all right, let's talk about this issue, which is when you're busy, when, or even if you're not that busy, if you just don't like to cook, you don't like to meal plan, all of that fun stuff. If you live alone, right? One of my challenges before I had kids was that I was the only one eating the things that I was making. And that's sort of how these habits were created, and why they actually work even now that I have children, is that I had to be creative about how I prepared food, because my husband doesn't eat vegetables. Does not eat vegetables. I love vegetables. I want to eat vegetables because it's a way that I honor myself, my body, and my healthy lifestyle goals. They're, nutrient dense. They're good for us, right? So it's important to me to eat those types of foods. But when you live with someone who doesn't want to eat those types of foods, it can, again, present this challenge of, well, how do I cook food? I don't want to cook just for myself. That's what I hear that a lot, actually. I don't want to cook just for myself. It's too much work to cook for just. Well, listen, okay, here's your first little lecture. You are worth it. You are worth cooking for yourself. Period. You don't I don't want to hear that ever again, okay? You are worth the time and effort that it takes to prepare a meal for yourself. Now, let's talk about how we can make that more simple so that it doesn't feel overwhelming, so that it's not a daunting task, okay? Because again, it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to eat everything organic. You don't have to eat everything whole and not packaged. And don't put these rules on yourself, these expectations that are going to set you up for perceived failure. Okay, rule number 10 for living a happy, healthy, imperfect life is to do your best, or not do your best. It used to be do your best. Now it's do good enough. Because even though I made up these rules, okay, and my rule was back in the day, always do your best, stolen from The Fourth Agreement by Don Miguel Ruiz, I realized that even when I told myself that it's okay that my best is going to change based on whether I'm sick or tired or well rested or whatever, right? I still felt like I wasn't doing good enough. So I changed that rule to do good enough, because good enough is just that. It is good enough, okay? So your expectations, let's make them realistic for you and your lifestyle. Don't create expectations or rules for yourself that are not realistic for you, for your skill set, for your time, for your demands, for your family, for where you live. All like just don't create unrealistic expectations. Can you work towards improvement? Absolutely. But you got to start somewhere. Okay? So I'd rather you start here and work towards this than to say, oh, I need to do this, and then aim for this and feel like you're failing. Okay? Start here. Start here. Okay. Time to prep healthy food. I'm going to give you some of the things that I do in my house that allow me to eat healthy, even though I have a husband who doesn't eat vegetables. I have a 5-year-old who told me the other day that he doesn't like food. He only likes candy and sugar. And a 3-year-old who doesn't like anything spicy. He is, however, a very good vegetable and fruit eater, so I'm grateful for that. Here's an example. My day yesterday. Yesterday, I got up at 7 o'clock. I sauteed some mushrooms and spinach in a pan. While those were sauteing, so I put some olive oil, a little bit of butter, and some salt on the mushrooms, sauteed them. Then I added the spinach. While those were sauteing, and I added the spinach like when the mushrooms were mostly cooked, because spinach is very quick. While those were cooking, I don't remember exactly what I did. I think I emptied the dishwasher maybe, but I'll always multitask. So while one thing is over here cooking, I'll either chop something for something else, or I'll empty the dishwasher or whatever, right? I take advantage of my time in the kitchen. So if I'm in the kitchen for 20 minutes, I'm going to get as much done in the kitchen in those 20 minutes. Again, I don't remember exactly what I did yesterday. But I made this huge, it was 2 packages of mushrooms and a whole big package of spinach. Okay, sauteed this. Then I put most of it in a glass container, let it cool. It's in the fridge now for the rest of the week. I left a little bit in the pan. I threw an egg on there, fried it up, made some toast with a piece of cheese, and had a beautiful spinach, mushroom, egg sandwich. And now I have, again, the sauteed spinach and mushrooms in my fridge. I had it again this morning. So that was yesterday that I made that, right? I had it again this morning. And it only took 5 minutes, because I took advantage of those 20 minutes yesterday and made food that's going to last me for several days. So then today it was just throw a little bit in a pan, warm it up, throw an egg on top, toast, sandwich, done. So good. And nutrient dense, right? I've got protein in the egg. I've got vitamins and minerals in the spinach and mushrooms. I have a piece of cheese because I like the cheesiness of it. To me, that's very satisfying. And then I use gluten-free bread, which is this big too. So it's a small piece of bread. So that was breakfast, and then again that was breakfast today, and it'll be breakfast tomorrow, and probably breakfast the next day, and the next day too. Easy, 5 minutes, okay? Then I threw some chicken in the crock pot with some salt, garlic powder, and onion powder, and let that cook throughout the day so that I can shred it to make chicken salad. And now I'll have chicken salad for the rest of the next few days that I can eat with veggies, right? I can use cucumbers, peppers, whatever. I can eat it on a sandwich. I can eat it in a wrap, a lettuce wrap, with crackers. It's easy. I made it specifically because we've been spending a lot of time at the pool, and I like to be able to have stuff that I can just throw in the cooler and eat without a lot of effort, right? So take a little bit of this chicken salad in a Tupperware and a few crackers, and now I've got this really satisfying meal that that I can eat on the go at the pool. Okay, an apple and I don't know, that's probably like enough for a meal, right? So I've got some protein, I've got some carbohydrates, I've got a fruit, and I try to eat 5 fruits and vegetables every day. So I've already got breakfast, I've got mushroom spinach, that's 2, I've got an apple at lunch, and then yesterday, so I did make that chicken, and I didn't eat that yesterday. Yesterday for lunch, I again took advantage of a few minutes, and I made like a sort of a small casserole dish of black beans, yogurt, taco seasoning, cheese, chopped tomato, chopped onion, and lettuce. So kind of like I don't know how many layers that is. I should have counted while I was doing it on my fingers, but I forgot. I think it's like 6, maybe 7 layers, like that 7 layer dip. Yeah. But it's in my fridge. Yesterday I had it with some tortilla chips because we were home. And it was kind of like a quick taco salad. I've got more left. Last night I ate some more of it when I made chicken quesadillas for my family using chicken that I had cooked in a crock pot. Same base. Now I've just added some taco seasoning to it. So now we had a really busy day yesterday. Didn't get home until like 7:30 last night. But because I already had this chicken prepared, all I had to do was pull it out, throw it in the microwave, and then I put a tortilla in the pan, put some of the chicken in the tortilla, put some cheese on it, folded it in half, flipped it over, made 5 quesadillas. I made 2 for my husband. Quesadillas for all of us in like 10 minutes. Very easy. Threw out some fruit. I always keep like strawberries, bananas, oranges, apples. I bought blackberries the other day because my little one loves blackberries. But those are the 4 fruits that I always have in my house. I can chop up an orange really fast into orange smiles. My kids will eat those. My 5-year-old sucks the juice out of them, so he doesn't actually get any of the fiber. But I try to serve again like a fruit or vegetable with every meal. So chicken burritos and some orange smiles. It's not a complicated dinner. It's not like, it's not this perfectly whole foods organic meal, but were they well nourished? Absolutely. They got the protein in the chicken. They got an orange with some vitamin C, some fiber. It's not, is it perfect? Is it what, some like super healthy guru would say like, oh yeah, that's a great meal? Probably not. Was my family fed? Was it whole foods? Yes, it was. Chicken is a whole food. Cheese is a whole food. Orange is a whole food. The tortilla, not a whole food. Was it a tortilla the majority of the meal? No. It was what held it together. So doing this, again, like some of this work ahead of time allows me to make meals very quickly. I actually, a few years ago, wrote this cookbook. I say wrote it, but I created this cookbook, and I never actually had it printed. This is just a version that my aunt, who owned like a UPS store or something, she printed it and sent a copy of it to me so that I could have it. Is a digital version of it that I think is on my website. I'm not even sure if it's still there because I don't really talk about it anymore. But it's basically, this is how I do things. It's very, very simple, right? Here's a great example of, where is it? Whole foods that are very quick and easy, right? An apple with peanut butter, not hard. That's not hard, people. It's not hard. It's really simple and very fast. You cut up an apple, you put some peanut butter in a dish, and you eat it. This is one of my favorites, a rice cake with peanut butter and banana. Again, very simple. We don't need to overcomplicate this. That, I think, is the biggest challenge for many women, is that we, again, like aim for perfection. We think that we have to do these things a certain way, and all we're doing is setting ourselves up for perceived failure. Okay, keep it simple. Convenience. Food on the run, what to eat on the go. Okay, again, I just named off banana, apple, grapes, or even so grapes. I'll buy a whole thing of grapes. I wash them, I cut them up into like smaller, little bundles, right? Keep them in the fridge where they're easy to grab. And then I can throw them in a plastic bag or a Tupperware, and I'm out the door with a piece of cheese, like a Baby Bell cheese or a cheese stick. Okay, that's a really quick, easy, simple, whole foods snack. We don't need to make this difficult. Okay, an apple and a piece of cheese. Whole foods, very easy, totally portable. Time and effort to meal prep. So if you're new, if you're just joining me, I'm going off a list here of the things that people shared with me that are challenges when it comes to eating healthy. So time and effort to meal prep. I'm a planner. I like to plan out my menu every week. I put it in I'm a paper person. I put it in my planner, and I don't always stick to it perfectly, but it gives me some guidelines and allows me to make a shopping list based on what I'm planning to eat, so that I'm not like willy-nillying it. And listen, I am like the most disorganized person you'll ever know. Organization is not one of my strengths. Planning ahead really isn't one of my strengths. These are habits that I have created over the last several years, through trial and error, and I do them because here's the thing about habits: they feel good, they work, there's a reward, and that's how habits are created, right? There's a trigger, a behavior, and a reward. And the reward is that I'm less stressed. The reward is that I feel better physically, mentally, and emotionally. The reward is that I save money. The reward is that I'm not every day going, oh crap, what are we going to eat? I need to go to the grocery store, right? The reward is huge and it pays off. And so that's why I do it. That's what's gotten me here. That's what keeps me going. Again, not perfect. I will sometimes make an entire week's worth of meal plans, and I will buy an entire week's worth of groceries, and then we'll go out to eat 3 nights, or we'll order pizza or whatever, right? But that's not failure. That's just life. Just life. Doesn't mean I need to start over. Doesn't mean I've failed. Doesn't mean I've screwed up, messed up, whatever, right? It means I ate some pizza and I moved on. So I do recommend planning, even if it's just a simple list of staples that you keep in your house that are quick and easy foods that you can grab. Again, like I said, apples, cheese sticks, peanut butter, rice cakes, bananas. I love to do a veggie tray, like buy a whole, I don't do this anymore, but back when it was just me, now I buy veggies and cut them up and keep them in the fridge. I still keep a veggie tray in the fridge, but before, when it was just me, I would just buy a veggie tray. Yeah, it was worth the like $7 to $9, depending on where I bought it, to buy a pre-made veggie tray and keep it in my fridge to keep it simple and easy for me to make choices to eat foods that honor myself, my body, and my goals, without having that extra step of like, oh crap, I have to cut up all these vegetables. I have to, right? Like, I knew that if I did that, if I just bought, and I know this because I did it multiple times, would buy a whole bunch of vegetables and then they would rot in my fridge. And then one day I was like, oh, in fact, I think what happened was that like I had taken a veggie tray somewhere, or I'd bought a veggie tray to take to like a party or something and didn't end up using it or something, I don't know. And then I realized like that week, because it didn't get used, that I ate it, and I was like, oh, duh, this is what I should do. And that's what I started doing, was buying a veggie tray and keeping it in my fridge. And then it made it much easier for me to eat those foods because I didn't have to do all of the prep work. And again, this was before I had kids. Like, I didn't have much more to do. Like, I didn't, I certainly didn't have the demands that I have now. But it's because it is a priority for me, and because I am now feeding more children. Like, I would have to buy 2 veggie trays a week, and I only try to go grocery shopping once. I don't want to have to store 2 veggie trays in my fridge. and I've figured out like how to making the veggie tray every week work. And again, that's things that I'll do while I'm multitasking, right? So yesterday, I know that I didn't because I already have it done, but I could have chopped up veggies from my veggie trays while my spinach and mushrooms were sauteing. Cool. Um, so again, like you don't have to do this, right? You don't have to map out your entire week, but at least make sure that you have foods on hand that you enjoy, that are nutrient dense, that are easily accessible. Okay? Because the harder you make it, so one of my things is create a path of least resistance, right? The harder you make it on yourself to make the choices that you want to make in order to honor yourself, your body, and your goals, the less likely you're going to be to make them, right? So keep it simple, keep it accessible, keep it easy and convenient. I think my lip is bleeding. Yeah, it is. Gross. Sorry, guys. I have new aligners. I just started wearing aligners yesterday. Ah, that's gross. Sorry. And there's a rough spot down here, and I felt it rubbing my lip, but I didn't realize it was actually making me bleed. Gross. Sorry. But I'm excited to have straight teeth eventually soon, maybe. Okay. That's really bothering me now. What was I saying? Okay, so right, so keep those foods easily accessible, okay? Don't worry about planning a whole menu. Don't worry about, you know, if you don't like going grocery shopping, we are so fortunate these days to have things like Instacart and Walmart grocery pickup. Most grocery stores have some version of this that I encourage you to take advantage of. I went to the grocery store Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. And I think that's like the second or third time I've been to a grocery store in the last year. And of course, COVID, a lot of people learned the magic of grocery pickup. But I started doing Instacart back when Zach was born, or I guess it was 2 years ago, so he was already a year old. But that was one of the things that I decided to sort of outsource, right? I'm going to use the big word here. I outsource my grocery shopping because it frees up an hour to 2 hours of my life every week that I can use to do something else. And I love that I can use the app throughout the week, like add stuff to it, right? I have my staples, the basic things that I get every week: the apples, bananas, cheese, rice cakes, bread. I don't know. I have like a whole list of things that I always keep on hand. And then based on whatever I'm going to eat or planning to eat for, the week, I will add those things to the list, and then it's super simple. Okay, so here's the last one, is the need to do a lot of cooking to eat healthy. You don't. You don't have to do a lot of cooking in order to eat healthy. You really don't. You can. One of my favorite things, you've probably heard this from me before if you've been with me for any amount of time, is bagged salads. Now, I know that not everyone can tolerate bagged salads because of whatever they put on them to keep them fresh. But I can, and I love them. And I think that they are the quickest, easiest, simplest meal out there. If I do something like throw some chicken in the crock pot and make a chicken salad out of them, or here's one of my things, like cooks a bunch of chicken at the beginning of the week or in the middle of the week. It doesn't matter when you do it. It doesn't have to be the beginning of the week. It can be on a Wednesday or even a Friday. It doesn't matter. Cook a bunch of chicken in the crock pot with some garlic powder, onion powder, salt. It's like one of the big base things in this book that I wrote and isn't for sale anymore, sorry. To cook the chicken in the crock pot, right, with this base: garlic powder, onion powder, salt. And then when you're ready to eat it, you can add extra flavors to it. So if you want just to make just like chicken salad, then you have this chicken already cooked. You throw some mayonnaise, yogurt, whatever you want, whatever you like in your chicken salad. I like yogurt, something I actually just started doing. I know it's like one of the one of the biggest like healthy hacks out there, right? To replace your mayonnaise with yogurt. But I love mayonnaise, and so it was a really hard. Like I didn't even want to try it, and then I did, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's not so bad. It's actually pretty good. Sorry, it's really bothering me. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so chicken salad, right? So now I have chicken salad available. I love chicken salad on apple slices, like an apple slice chicken salad sandwich. So good, so simple. I've got my chicken salad already made. I cut up an apple, bam, done. Like a 2-minute meal, okay? 2 minutes. You can add taco seasoning to that cooked chicken in your that came out of your crock pot, right? And you don't have to do it while it's in the crock pot. You can do it when you reheat it. And now you can make chicken tacos, you can make nachos, you can make burritos, whatever. You can put it on a salad and have a taco salad. A bag of salad, taco salad, okay? It does, again, we do not need to overcomplicate this. The other thing is that if you do live alone, especially, or you're only cooking for yourself, you're allowed, and like, it doesn't matter if you're alone or cooking for, you have a whole family that you're cooking for too. Like, if you want to eat some frozen food, some frozen whatever, do it. Just do it. There's no pass or fail when it comes to living a happy, healthy lifestyle. Okay, there are no any rules that you create are unnecessary. The only rule that you need to follow is that you make choices that honor yourself, your body, and your goals. And sometimes that's going to be ordering pizza. Sometimes that's going to be hitting up the drive-thru. Now, if you live in the drive-thru, if that's your lifestyle, that's okay too. All right? What you need to know there is that you don't always have to order a cheeseburger and french fries. You can order a salad. You can order a grilled chicken wrap. You can order a burger and take off half the bun. You can order a grilled chicken sandwich and take off half the bun, right? There are all kinds of ways that you can still make choices that honor yourself, your body, and your goals in the drive-thru. And listen, fast food is always going to be loaded with extra sodium, probably extra sugar, probably extra fat, because they know how to make their food taste its best. But there are still choices that you can make that are going to feel better than other choices. And you're the only one who can make those. So again, if you're living in the drive-thru, that's fine. That does not mean that you are failing, that you have to wait to start being healthy or making healthy choices when your life clears up and you're not on the go all the time. Like, there's no reason to wait. There's no reason to wait to start making these choices, ever. You can make them right now. And if you impulsively eat a cheeseburger and french fries, you mindlessly overeat a cheeseburger and french fries, you choose to eat a cheeseburger and french fries, great. Enjoy it, and then move on. Do not let that spiral start, okay? This is a huge part of my new program and the cycle of diet, fail, repeat. We talk about it a lot, like how not to get into that spiral, because that spiral is what keeps us stuck in that cycle of diet, fail, repeat. That spiral is what got me to 328 pounds, because I would mess up and then beat myself up and then go into this spiral, throw myself a food funeral, because I'd say, oh, I'm going to start over on Monday. I'm going to start over after my birthday. I'm going to start over after vacation, after Christmas, whatever, right? Sorry, if you're just joining me, I have new aligners and they're cutting my lip and it's bleeding. So if you're wondering why there's blood in my teeth, that's why. When I get off of here, I'm going to file it down. Sorry, I just totally got off track. I think I made my point, though. I think I made my point, right? Did I? I hope I finished that thought. I'm sorry. I was saying I would, right, so I'd wait for this magic, for the stars to realign so that I could start my diet over again. And all I did was continue gaining weight because I would throw myself this food funeral and eat all the foods that I was never going to eat again before I started my diet over again. And I hated myself for all of these choices that I kept making repeatedly over and over and over again. And the magic is letting go of perfection, letting go of these unrealistic expectations of yourself, recognizing that you have not screwed up, that you have not messed up, that you are in control, and you get to make every choice you make. Sometimes that's going to be eating a cheeseburger and french fries. Sometimes that's going to be enjoying a hot fudge brownie sundae. Sometimes that's going to be I don't even know, cheesecake, right? Like all of the things, right? Those are part of living and being happy and healthy, period. It's what we do in between that matters, or what we do next that matters most, right? So don't beat yourself up. Don't fall into that spiral. Don't throw yourself a food funeral like I used to. Don't wait for the stars to realign. Just keep going. Okay? Every choice is a choice, as my friend Ray says, and you are in control. So that's all. If you are interested in learning more about my new program and the cycle of diet, fail, repeat, where we dive deep into all of these mindsets, habits, behaviors, let me know. Send me an instant message. Direct message, private message, whatever. And I'll send you information once I have it. We're in the last week of the beta test. Got 26 women in there, and their transformations have been incredible. So proud of them. So proud of the program. Can't wait to share it with you. It is truly transformational. So, yay! All right, I'm gonna jump off of here. Thanks so much for joining me. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment below or to send me a message. All right, make it a great day. Bye.